I trained for the NFL draft in 2018, and a quick summary of my football career up until that point for anyone new here. 5-star recruit, went to USC where I backed up guys that started in the NFL. I transferred to Pitt, started the year, got benched, came back, was ACC Player of the Week, and then ripped up my right shoulder the very next game on October 13th, 2017. The dates are important for this video. I rehabbed at Pitt through December, went home for the holidays, and then in January went down to Carlsbad, California to the Exos facility to officially start my 2018 draft prep. Bradley Chubb, Aaron Jones, Marcus Davenport, Mason Cole, Sam Hubbard, all dudes that were training there. And it got annoying at some points when guys were like, yo, Max Brown is here. Like, shit, dude, like, no way. I was just like, guys, I'm trying to train like all you guys. No, I'm completely kidding. I was by far the lowest rated prospect in that entire class, but the guys were cool. And it was low-key an absolute pass rush factory down there. Anyways, we fast forward to mid-March, and that's when I had my Pitt Pro Day, which in hindsight is almost a regret I have in the draft process. My shoulder still wasn't there, but I felt the need to show scouts that I was still progressing in my rehab, so I did a condensed throwing portion of routes like 10 to 35 yards, all in breaking. My arm strength just wasn't there though. I was still rehabbing. My thought process was it'd be better to show my progress than not do anything at all, but as a result, I was sore for like a week after that workout. Probably didn't help my recovery, and I also don't think I gained anything from it, so in hindsight, I would do it differently. So we fast forward to draft day. I wasn't expecting to hear my name called, but pretty cool. I got 5 rookie minicamp invites from the Steelers, Seahawks, Lions, I think it was, the Eagles, and then one more team. But again, I couldn't do those workouts because I couldn't throw at a competitive level. So that summer, I moved back home to Seattle where I would train and rehab. And then at the end of the summer, I moved back down to Southern California, and I did so for a few reasons. One, my girlfriend, now wife, Vic, she was finishing up at USC. My training setup in Southern California was nice. My old strength coach at USC had opened up his own gym in Redondo Beach, and there were guys training in the area, so I had dudes to throw to. And then 3, I was able to shadow Yogi Ra. Even at this point, I had the itch that, hey, whenever football is done, I want to try this broadcasting analyst stuff. And so I would train in the mornings, and then in the afternoons, I would either shadow Yogi or I'd film YouTube videos breaking down Pac-12 football games, which is how I got my start as a content creator. And then December came, and I had 2 workouts for possible futures deals with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders. I had just got to a point where it felt like I'd rehabbed for 15 months. You got a new crop of quarterbacks in the next class coming in. It just felt like now or never. And this was the moment I knew my football career was over. I could paint you a picture of that workout in the Pittsburgh Steelers facility. They had 3 or 4 coaches there. They asked me to line up on the right hash and throw a 20-yard comeback to the left sideline. That's a difficult throw. That's a big boy throw, but it's a throw I'd made hundreds, if not thousands of times since I was 14 years old. The ball came out of my hand. I could just feel it. Not that I tore anything or re-injured anything, but it just didn't have that pop that I knew I once had. And I finished that workout, and they put you back on the bus to drive you to the airport. And I remember looking out the window, and all I could think about was that one throw. And in my head, I was like, damn, if I can't make that throw, we're in trouble. And I wasn't ready to accept that it was over. Like in your head, you just tell yourself, hey, keep pushing. Tomorrow's a new day kind of thing. And I had a workout for the Commanders 2 days later, but you would have never got this out of me back then. But looking back, I knew that was the point. So with that throw in my head and 15 months of rehab, now stalled for a few months, I made the tough decision to walk away from the game. And it was tough, not because I had a bunch of lucrative options to choose from. It's tough because I loved football, and football was the biggest element of my identity at that point. And I didn't want to walk away, and I also didn't feel like I was making a decision. It felt like it was time. I needed to turn the page so I could live a happier life. And I definitely don't want my story to put a damper on how special this time period is. There's a lot of guys accomplishing their lifelong dreams, and it's amazing. And for me, 6 years later, I take pride in that part of my story because it's part of my journey. I also definitely am not looking for sympathy in this story. I lived an absolute dream playing college football for 2 amazing universities, and it was a straight blessing. But there are guys that this time of year is a challenge for. It's a huge pivot moment in their lives. And so I guess I made this video to shed some light on that side of the story too.